Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down, chair yoga for everyone. It's our mission to make it fun and easy for everyone to participate in chair yoga. My name is Carol and I'll be your fitness guide today. We're going to continue with our Sun Salutations. So we're going to build on the class that we did previously from a seated position. We're going to add some additional seated poses, and then we're going to stand up and add some standing poses as well. And as I mentioned last class, today we're going to incorporate a yoga block. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, maybe you can substitute it for a large book that's hardcover about the same size. And if you don't have either of those two things, don't worry about it. I'll give you modifications. All right, let's get started. So we're going to come up forward in our chair and have those feet nice and planted on the floor. So we're going to start by grounding those feet to the earth. So think about, you've got 4 pressure points in each foot. One behind the big toe, behind the little toe, and 2 points of the heel. And I want you to think about having all 4 of those pressure points for both feet firmly grounded into the earth. The next thing we're going to do is think about grounding our sits bones onto the chair. So just think about having those pointy bones that we sit on. They actually hold our weight. Make sure that they're equally weighted on the chair. So make any adjustments that you need to make sure that they are grounded to the chair. The next thing we're going to think about is pulling that belly button to the spine. So we'll cue this regularly throughout the class. I want to make sure that you are constantly thinking about belly button to spine to create that core stability. The next thing we're going to think about is lengthening our spine nice and long. So like you're taking something in the top of your head and just lengthening through like a string, and you're just pulling on it to lengthen through that spine. The final thing we want to think about are keeping our shoulders down. So we'll be doing a few poses today with our hands in the air, and it's very common to end up doing this, right? So I want you to really concentrate on pulling those shoulders down. Let's place our hands lightly on our thighs, palms facing up, thumb to middle finger mudra if you like to do that. We're going to close our eyes and focus on your heart center, just thinking about your heart center, letting go of everything outside of what's going on your chair. Now begin to think about your breath, just focusing in on that natural inhalation and exhalation. Now we're going to elongate that breath. We're going to inhale a little more deeply and exhale a little more completely, just at your own pace. Now we're going to move into our belly breath, our diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, the belly extends as you fill the lungs with air from the bottom up. As you exhale, pull the belly button to the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. Go ahead and do that a few times at your own pace. Now we're going to add a little rhythm to that breath. We're going to inhale to 4 counts and exhale to 5, something like this. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going at your own pace. And breathe normally. We're going to do that one more time. This time we're going to inhale to 4 counts, and then I want you to exhale to just as many counts as you can before you inhale again. Go ahead at your own pace. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intention for today's practice, focusing in on what you want to accomplish. One more breath. Bring your hands back down to your thighs. Open your eyes. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. We're going to move into a little neck stretch. Drop your chin towards your chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. Go ahead and look up towards me. Look over that right shoulder. Look center. Look over the left shoulder. And look center. Take that right hand towards the ceiling, left hand towards the floor, stretch. Place your left hand on the chair, stretch and lean. Let's come up and do the other side. So we're going to extend that hand up towards the ceiling. I want to place my right hand on the chair for support, stretch and lean. Feel that sideways stretching, both hips are staying down. Let's come up and roll those shoulders. Oh yeah. Up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Let's do that again. And then let's reverse those circles. Oh, that feels so good to me. All right, let's do a quick cat and cow. So we learned this previously, but we're going to place our hands lightly on our thighs. We're going to pull our belly button to our spine, round the shoulders, tuck the chin, and feel that shoulder stretching, rounding. Let the head fall, and then we're going to lift the heart up. Just turn your thumbs towards the back wall and open up your heart. Another version of cow. Let's do that one more time. Round it down, pull the belly button in, tuck the chin, let the head just fall, looking down at your lap, feel the stretch. And now we're going to lift it up, thumbs to the back wall, into a cow pose. One more breath and release it. Great. One final little quick thing, and then we're going to move on into our sun salutations. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to place it on the outside of that right knee. My right hand is going to come back to the chair. Crown of the head lifts. This shoulder comes back. Turn and look over the back of your chair. Release it, and we're going to do the other side. So this hand is going to come on the outside of the leg. This hand back by your chair. Shoulder turns back. Turn and look over that shoulder. So we're looking over our left shoulder. We're just breathing. One more breath and release it. Give those shoulders one more. And maybe you want to do them one at a time. I don't care. Just trying to give a little release into those shoulders before we move on, because in our sun salutation, as you remember, we do quite a bit of circle work. So the thing to remember is, if moving in through this circle bothers your shoulders, keep those elbows bent at all times. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, hands come out, palms face up. We come into mountain pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Big circle around. Palms facing down towards the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. Again, inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Bring those hands to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Palms facing down. Come all the way into prayer hands. Okay, we're going to add that mountain pose. Inhale here. Up we go, big circle around, bring your hands to your heart. I'm not going to cue the breath. If you want to do the breath, the yoga breath, add that diaphragmatic breath. We're going to bring hands to heart all the way up to ceiling. Lengthen through that spine. fingertips to the ceiling. Actually, I've got my fingertips interlaced, my pointer fingers to the ceiling. I'm going to lean my mountain to the right, keeping that left hip down. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to lean my mountain the other way. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, up we go. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Big circle around. We're going to keep going all the way to mountain pose. Interlace fingers, pointer finger to the ceiling. Let's lean to the left. Come up and we're going to lean to the right. Come up, we're going to make that big circle around and we're going to bring our hands to our heart. We're going to add that halfway lift. Remember, airplane arms, our hands are back by our side. We're shooting our hands back. Our head is toward the ceiling and the wall meet. We're going to add that next. Here we go. Big circle. Up we go. Bring those hands to heart. Up we go. Big circle around. Bring your hands to heart. Let's go to mountain pose. Interlace fingers. We're going to leave out that lean and we're going to come right into that forward salute with airplane arms. We're stretching. We're stretching, putting space between each and every vertebra in that spine. We're lengthening their head towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, and we're going to come to a seated pose. Here we go. Circle it up. There's our beautiful suns. Bring your hands here. Follow that with your gaze if you wish. Come all the way down, all the way up to mountain pose. Interlace fingers and forward salute. Stretch it out. Airplane arms. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Bring your hands to your heart. One more. Big circle. Remember, activate those arms. They're not just kind of floating around. They're super active. All the way to mountain pose. Interlace fingers. Stretch. Come into that forward salute. Stretch it out, and come up. The last thing we're going to add is, remember where we put our hands on those thighs and we let our heart fall? We're going to add that in, and that I'm going to call a forward fold. All right, that's our last thing before we begin to add on the new poses for today. Big circle around. Bring your hands to your heart. Up we go. Big circle around all the way back to mountain pose. Interlace fingers, pointer finger up. Forward salute, stretch, stretch, stretch. Hands, arms on those thighs. Let the heart fall into that forward fold and come up to a seated position. Okay, we're going to take just a little bit of a break and I'm going to kind of talk through what we're going to do next. So now we're going to grab our block. And what we're going to do is first we're going to place the block on the floor with on the long end. Okay, so I want it to be as tall of a block as it can be. And you're going to place it on the floor between your feet, kind of where your arches are. Okay, so you don't want it back towards the heels and you don't want it forward towards the toes. So kind of where your arches are. Your book can be there as well, and if you don't have either of those two things, don't worry about it. I will show you the modification. All right? Okay, so we're going to come into that forward salute, and I'll show you real quick here what we're going to do. Then we're going to come into our forward fold. And where we're going from here is we're going to play with that forward fold and see how we feel, right? So maybe our hands are on our block, or maybe our hands are going to stay here. And then we're going to build with that block. We're going to take it lower, and we're going to take it lower. So that's kind of the direction that we're going to head with our building into our forward fold. So there's two things we got to think about in our forward fold. The first thing is, how does that low back feel? If the low back is not happy with you bringing your hands down lower, then you're going to stay right here. Okay? If you don't have your block and you want to bring your heart lower, you're going to place your hands on your shins. You're still going to hold on. You've got support here, okay? You just don't have the block that you can support, but you've got your hands on shins for support. So that's the first thing, is how does the back feel? The second thing we want to think about is, are you getting dizzy? So what happens when we put our head below our heart is sometimes it can make that blood pressure go up a little bit. So if you already have high blood pressure and you suffer from that anyway, you probably want to stick right here or maybe right here. But I don't think you want to take that head any lower than that. But especially if you get dizzy. Okay, so listen to your body. You've got to do what works for your body. So let's everybody get our block right in alignment there. And we're going to start from the beginning. Let's take that big circle up. We're going to bring our hands to heart. Now listen, we're going to come to mountain and we're going to come straight into that forward salute, okay? So stretch it out first. We're going to come to that forward fold with our hands on our thighs. All right, now we're going to take a hand down onto the block. The other hand is going to go onto the block and we're going to let our heart fall a little bit further. Remember, hold it. If you don't have a block, remember, hands on shins is your alternative here. We're holding it and we're breathing. Now, listen, pull your belly button to your spine, and I want you to round up to a seated position, nice and slow, and see how you feel. Check in on that back, and check in on if you're feeling dizzy. All right? Hands to heart. Okay, wait a minute, sorry. We're going to add on to that. So now I've got my block this way. I'm going to turn my block this way, and I'm going to place it back on the floor between my feet. Okay, so you notice that it's a little lower to the floor, right? So if you are here, maybe your hands are on your upper shins, maybe you bring your hands down a little bit further onto your lower shins, okay? Hands to heart, here we go. Big circle up, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to go to mountain, and then we're going to come straight to that forward salute. Stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. Come to that forward fold here first. Let the heart fall forward. Now take one hand onto the block and the other hand onto the block. Let that heart fall a little bit further. See how that feels. Take a deep breath in. Pull your belly button to your spine. Push through your heels and slowly roll yourself back up to a seated position and take inventory. Back. Okay, dizzy, not dizzy? Here we go. We're going to move that block now. So we started here. We moved it here. Now we're going to move it here. You notice how we're just getting it closer and closer to the floor, right? You know where we're headed with this. There's no surprises, right? All right, bring your hands to your heart. Let's go. Big circle up. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to go to that mountain pose and we're going to come into that forward salute. This we know down. We've got this one down, don't we? Stretch it out. One more breath. All right. Let's start here. Let that heart fall forward. See how that forward fold feels? You want to add on? Bring a hand to the block. Bring a hand to the block. Or maybe your hands are on your ankles and you're forward folding. All right, pull that belly button to the spine and slowly, slowly, slowly roll it up. Okay, so now the final thing. We're going to take the block away and we're just going to go to the floor. So when you get into your forward fold, seated forward fold, and your hands are on the floor, if you can let your head go and just tuck your chin, you're going to get the full effect of that inversion, of that head down. So please, please listen to your body, right? And if your low back is bugging you, leave it out. It's okay. You can keep doing what we've been doing. Whatever is fine with you. And if it's making you dizzy, just stay here. Hands to heart. Here we go. Big circle. Up we go. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going back to mountain pose. Let's forward salute. I'll get it here in just a minute. Bring your hands here for that forward fold. See how you feel. Are you ready? Place a hand on the floor. Place a hand on the floor. Let the head fall and breathe. We're breathing into the stretch. We're feeling our low back stretch. Our blood is rushing to our head. Take a deep breath in. Pull your belly button to your spine and slowly roll up. How did that feel? Okay? So the very last thing we're going to add, if you would just watch me real quick, I want to show you what it is, because it's kind of hard to see when you've got your head down between your knees, right? So we're going to, we're going to be here, then we're going to move into our forward fold. I'm letting my head fall. Now, instead of rolling up slowly like we've been doing, I'm still going to pull my belly button to my spine, but I'm going to reverse swan dive. Push through my heels. I'm going to reverse swan dive, and I'm going to bring my hands up and to heart. Okay, so again, that's a little bit more pressure on the low back. It's totally up to you. If that doesn't feel good or you think, I don't think I'm going to do that, it's fine. Belly button to spine. We're going to do 3 without stopping, and then we're going to stand up. Are we ready? Here we go. Big circle. Dive forward. Ha. Forward salute. Bring your hands for that forward fold. Bring your hands to the floor if you wish to do that. Tuck your chin, let the head fall. Reverse swan dive coming up. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Diving forward into that forward salute. Stretch it out. Bring your hands to your thighs for that forward fold. Place one hand down, the other hand down. Let that head fall. Take a deep breath in. Reverse swan dive up to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. We have one more. Up we go. Diving forward. Stretch it out. Bring your hands to those thighs. Let that heart fall. Put one hand on the floor. Put the other hand on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Reverse swan dive up. And bring your hands to your heart. All right. How did that feel? Did you use your block? Did you realize which position was best for you to have for that forward fold? Right? So it was your choice wherever you wanted it. You could have that block or you could have those hands on the floor. Okay, we're going to move on into a standing position now. So I want you to come to the right side of your chair. I'm going to move my chair over just a little bit. And I want you to, first of all, so you got your block in your hand. If you don't have a block, don't worry, I'll show you, it's fine. So the first thing I want you to do is to everybody get your feet in alignment. So you don't want them too wide and you don't want them right together. So they're just that natural extension from your hips. Okay? So get those feet placed first. Now grab your block and you're going to put it. So now it doesn't go between your arches because that's going to be too far back. But I want it between your feet, kind of in front of your toes. Okay? So that whenever you lean forward, you can put your hands on that block. All right? Because that's what we're going to do with our forward fold today. We're going to take our hands to the block. Okay, so we're basically doing the same sun salutations, but we're going to do them from a standing position. The one thing we are going to add, instead of our forward salute, which we've been doing from a seated position, we're going to bring our hands to our thighs, and we're going to do what I call a halfway lift. Okay? So we're looking at it kind of from the side. I'm extending my spine long, okay? The crown of the head is shooting this way. My hands are on my thighs. My hips are shooting back. So it's kind of a stretch. It's the same idea of the forward salute stretch. It's just a halfway lift. We're taking our heart a little bit further down. Okay, everybody ready? Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, we're going to come up. Now listen, we're going to dive forward. Pull that belly button to the spine. Dive, dive, dive. Here's your swan dive. Put your hands on your thighs, halfway lift. Extend that spine long. Head forward, seat is back. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, you're going to put one hand on the block, and you're going to put the other hand on the block, and you're going to let your head fall into your forward fold. Pull your belly button to spine. We're going to roll up nice and slow, stacking one vertebra on top of the other, and we're going to come to a standing position. Bring your hands to your heart. How do you feel, right? Check in. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Belly button to spine. Protect that low back. Dive forward. Ha. Here's your exhale. Put your hands on those thighs and give me that halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Place your hands on that block. Forward fold. Roll up nice and slow, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Belly button is super tight. Come to a standing position. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to add on. Big circle up. We're going to dive forward. Belly button to spine. Protect that low back. Hands on thighs. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Hands on the block. Roll up nice and slow. And Okay, the final thing we're going to do is our halfway lift. Instead of hands on thighs, we're going to take our hands to our shins. Now, you got choices, right? Maybe you want to leave the hands on thighs. That's fine. Maybe you want your hands on shins. That's fine. The last change, we're going to come all the way down into our forward fold, and instead of rolling up, we're going to take our hands out wide into that reverse swan dive, and then we're going to bring our hands to our heart. So you've got all kinds of options. And if you don't have your block, you, instead of putting your hands on the block, you're holding onto your shins, just like we did from a seated position. Sorry, I should have mentioned that previously. All right, are we ready? We're going to do 3 without stopping. Bring your hands to your heart, and then we're sitting down. Big circle up, take a deep breath in, dive forward, belly button to spine, ha. Hands to shins, halfway lift, forward fold, hands on the block, reverse swan dive up, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here, exhale, up we go, dive forward, ha. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold, reverse swan dive up, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here, exhale, up we go, diving forward, belly button to spine, ha, halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold, ha, reverse swan dive up, and bring your hands to your heart. You can see how that's a little warm-up, right? So we're building heat from the inside out. Set your block aside, come to a seated position. All right. Very, very good. So what I want to do today, just to kind of do a little bit of additional stretching, is remember we did that crescent lunge. So we're going to do 1 crescent lunge on each side. So we're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it nice and wide. Then we're going to take this knee and we're going to let it fall towards the floor, pushing that foot back if you wish, lifting the heart up and just breathing. Just feeling a little stretch into the front of that leg. 1 more breath. We're going to face forward. And now with this leg, we're going to extend it out in front of us. We're going to lift our heart. Let the heart fall forward. Keep the back flat into pyramid pose. Let's go ahead and lift our heart up. And let's do that 1 more time. Remembering, keep the leg straight. Don't lock out that knee. Feel that heart falling forward as you get a nice stretch into the back of that leg that's extended out in front of you. Let's lift it up. Okay, we're going to do our seated pigeon. So either cross ankle to ankle, if this works better for you, or we're going to cross ankle to knee. All right, so just take a moment. You can, I don't know about you, but I feel the stretch already. I'm already beginning to feel right in here that it's a nice little stretch. If you want to stay here, that's fine. If you want a little bit more, I'm going to extend my spine long and I'm going to let my heart fall forward. So I'm holding my hands on my thighs for support. As I let my heart fall forward, I'm trying to just relax my legs. Let's lift up and rock our baby. All right, we're going to do that again. Extend the spine long. Let the heart fall forward. Lift up and rock your baby. And we're going to do that 1 more time. We're going to extend the spine long. Let that heart fall forward. Breathing into the stretch. And we're going to do the other side. I'm going to take this knee and I'm going to open it nice and wide. Let this leg fall down towards the floor. Remember, you can be right here with that 90-degree angle, so that leg is at a 90-degree angle, or you can push that foot back behind you, lifting the heart. So the heart lifting is the key to this pose, this crescent lunge. 1 more breath. All right, release it. Let's let this leg stick out in front of you now. Pyramid pose. Extend the spine long. Let that heart fall forward. Lift up. We're going to do that 1 more time. Extend and let that heart fall forward, keeping this leg straight. Come up, cross ankle to ankle or ankle to knee. We're going to extend the spine long and let that heart fall forward. All right, lift your heart. Maybe you want to flutter the butterfly instead of rocking the baby. All good. Extend the spine long. Let that heart fall forward. Remember, you can have your hands on those thighs for support if that works better for you. We're going to lift up and do that fluttering or rocking one more time. All right, last one. Extend and let that heart fall forward. And come up to a seated position. All right, go ahead and sit back in your chair. You can even lean back now if you wish. Close your eyes or soften your eyes. Palms facing to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and a full, complete, cleansing breath out. A good experience. Do something today you can feel good about. Make it something you'll continue to feel good about tomorrow and next year. Plenty of things happen that you have no control over, yet there's always something good you can do for yourself, for others, or just because you want to. Bring to mind a particularly pleasant memory and feel the warmth as it coats your awareness. Now think what you can do today to create a similar memory that will endure for years to come. There's no need for it to be expensive or spectacular in order for it to be good. You have more than enough goodness inside you, and you can simply let it express itself. Make this a day you can always feel good about. Start with a genuine smile, and then follow the energy of that smile wherever it leads. Give yourself a good experience today, and give your world a more positive, cheerful version of yourself. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Extend that left arm out towards the floor, palm facing down. Flip the palm towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch. And release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. And release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Extend the opposite arm out towards the floor, palm down. Flip the palm up towards the ceiling. And release it. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. And again, I want to remind you that greatday.com is where I get the daily motivators. And the next class, we are going to continue to build on our Sun Salutation with additional standing poses. This class will be available on YouTube later this afternoon, so I hope you'll go check it out. Bottoms Down Chair Yoga, and give us a subscribe.